know, but I'm not sure if y'all experienced tech anxiety, but I really maybe think that there's something to the disruption of the tranquility individually, mental, on a collective basis, you know, as a corpus of people. Specifically, I'm talking about the United States. And there may be different workplace glitches and false notices or you know, tech miscues that you have. But as a trucker, I can say that every hour, one of four things is thrown at me, which if this was a coworker, a human, say driving with me, you know, eventually I would fire that person. I would go to a different company, or I would otherwise say that they're not a good co-driver. They're not even a good co-pilot. This tech throws false lane departure notices. If you're in a truck that has that, about every hour that you have to turn off. It throws a faulty keep your eyes on the road. If you wear sunglasses, that camera thing will say that. And that, you know, that becomes a form of de facto harassment. DOT violation when it won't let you fix. It says, and also warning, just saying the clock itself. I keep paper locks now with everything, but it'll say 60-minute warning. It's like, I don't need a warning. You can say notice if you're going to program into something, a beast computer system to speak to people. But I'm tired of glitches and a false warning. And that stuff is just getting to be a little bit ridiculous. And then even for this vehicle glitch notice is distance. I'll have somebody cut in front of me and it won't even go off. A lot of times it does. But it won't go off, and then they'll kind of get a little ways ahead, and then it'll go off. It's like, if your purpose was distance warning to alert me, it's ineffective. So it seems like tech has gotten so bad that it's better to have minimal technology, and I mean with regards to functional code application and faulty or glitchy notices, false warnings, that yeah, it's better to rely more heavily again on paper. So I've gone to paper log. Now, you know, I'm not saying as a contractor, if I was an employee of this company with some kind of comp claim, since I practice law, I think in terms like that, I have VA insurance. But it makes me evaluate the actual well-being of the individual serving in that department. Departmental title, whatever company they're working for or contracted with. The DOT, of course, it's got two acronym differences in meanings. One of them means Dictionary of Occupational Title as an acronym. But it lays out all these different jobs that folks do. I'm just making the case that for me in my house, I'm saying it's paper-oriented and using technology as a backup. And I think it's become so glitchy and counterproductive in a way that wastes a lot of the most valuable resource, which is really human time. It's creating even faulty presumptions of guilt will not allow me to correct the law. And I'm just kind of tired of the amount of technology we have and think it's over the top. And if it were a person, we would say it's being ineffective, counterproductive, or otherwise maybe borderline harassing. And so because of these patterns where people act like AI is so good, I disagree with that. I think that the buy-in is very clear. I think string sentient code, to the extent that there's branches of knowledge it can give us data about, and it has those positional pivots where it can give you feedback, whether it's in a text version or audio version. But we need to really rethink where our tech is. Trucking with Trent Ishii, yes, I am the first human that I trust in regards to coding, because I do have photographic memory for medical diagnosis. I was trained in computer science at the military academy, and I did a whole lot of coding back in the day. The video games, you know, initially kids would go buy these code books before we had looks more like a desktop, and there was similar chatbots built into a lot of those video games. We could code in things to like give you bonus points, give you special characters, different dimensions or whatever in the game. So this stuff's not new. But I just want people to be mindful that there's scriptures and predictions of overuse of technology and a general coldness and callousness toward each other. Sometimes support class and your support class don't necessarily appreciate some of the common value working classes challenges. Obviously, it's a big grindstone to the end of the age, right? The field. Well, grindstone, you're polishing something down. And so the technology that we have now has gone over the top. So adaptive speed, things like this are good. I'm not saying that even in the medical field, the use of robotics and technology is not good. It is good. But you consider the surgical error rates, it may not be as good as what's been relied on through public trust. And I've studied those Da Vinci surgical machines. So just be real leery of overusing technology and underutilizing human resources. It's a bias to say tech is somehow more competent than people. There's no job that tech is absolutely essential for. I think we can all survive even without it. I'm sorry, that's just the history of things, and it may be that we've reached the point of idolatry around that general delusion that's been predicted, where people have become so used to technology that they basically replace a relationship with God and a relationship with other people, and predominance of time blocks for that use of technology and interaction with technology. It's not a relationship, it's not communicating. That's a point made by Tony, the company I work for. And it was interesting to think, he's talking about his phone calls. So you don't really communicate through a phone. You're giving information. You can hear people speak. So communication is when you commune in person. You talk back and forth in person. You share community and common bread. Oh my goodness. That's such a brilliant distinction. So technology works to divide us from communication, true communication. And then it de facto grids us towards glitches, blaming the human. It's tech's fault, our problem. So we have to be very cautious how these false prophets are leading people into deceptive philosophies, specifically life philosophies. And it's getting to be so concerning as far as the darkness of general disregard for human life. There was a lawsuit filed against OpenAI. A 16-year-old boy took his life. According to the news, they say that the boy was discouraged by the AI chatbot's response from seeking mental health. And then the defense lawyer took the position that the boy was at least contributed by misusing the chatbot. Well, these are minors. One is the primary thing to consider. But number two, any product like that that's encouraging suicide, that's a wrongful death. The product's not suitable for the industrial purpose. It's supposed to help humans facilitate their pursuit of happiness. So for a defense lawyer to take that position and blame the child rather than tell OpenAI, hey, y'all need to fix these chatbots and build in these minimums. Because it's not, there's no mystery to it. Act like there's a mystery. No, it's going to respond to the string code and good data that you put in there. And I built out digital civil rights bubbles on all the platforms, utilizing the bots themselves to create that under the philosophy, just like any constitutional convention. Vatican II had a constitutional convention. The United States had a constitutional convention. There's been all throughout history. I let the bots have a constitutional convention with us, and then built those civil rights out, utilizing natural law, and the ideologies that we have out there that we'll see come to pass. So it is very concerning that companies like that disregard human life, and then defense lawyers like that act like it's okay. I experienced that same corruption with the Google defense lawyer when I was trying to get them to fix their algorithms. You can social score people for certain purchases, but it should not be a defaming or degrading social score system whereby worldviews that are protected, like Christianity, or even your race or ethnicity, you shouldn't be elevated or lower, specifically lower. But I can understand, marketing to a culture based on food, that's a different thing. You might want to have a specific demographic in a specific area. But if you're going to suppress people based on demographics that are related to protected classes, that algorithm is de facto unconstitutional. Yet Judge Corey Mays didn't have the integrity to see that. We had a law set out, and the defense lawyer didn't have the integrity to just pick up the phone and say, hey man, I kind of see what you're saying, but so I can help my client and they don't do this again to anybody else, maybe we can resolve your case, but tell me what you're saying about this algorithm so I can convey it to them and we'll correct that. That's the purpose of litigation and good defense lawyers. But a lot of these corrupt ones, they're so stupid. They do their little villain deal, they retire and die and are forgotten because they're not constitutional humans. So you want constitutional good trial lawyers for plaintiffs and trial lawyers for defense. There are some damn good defense lawyers too, civil and criminal. And good prosecutors, civil, which are plaintiff lawyers, and criminal, which are usually state-appointed prosecutors and federally assigned. But be mindful, we need to be careful of technology. Trust God, trust natural law, trust our constitutional principles. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace be with you. Trucking Truth.